Hi, everyone. So good to see all of you here today. We'll allow a couple of minutes for everybody else to join in and settle down. But I'd invite all of you to use the chat box to kind of introduce yourself, tell us a little about your business, what you deal in, how one can reach out to you. In fact, I can possibly put in a format also so that it's easy for you all to introduce yourself. Give me a moment. Okay, so I've sent a format. Very nice to meet all of you here today. We'll start the session sharp at 1:05. But in the meanwhile, like I mentioned, and for all the newcomers, it's important we all make the most of this time to network with one another, because who knows, and we've seen in the past also, there are a lot of business opportunities that come about. I can see a couple of hands being raised. We will take on Q&A towards the end of the session. I will leave ample amount of time intentionally to take on a detailed Q&A section. I'd request you to put in any of your questions currently in the Q&A box. They tend to get missed out when sent in the chat due to the volume of messages that come in. So we have about 3 minutes more, and we'll allow all our other members to join in as well. But the way we'll do this session is we'll keep it as interactive as possible. I'd invite all of you to send in any feedback, queries, comments. In fact, I will be asking a lot of questions, and it'll be nice to have an engaged audience where you're replying with either yes, no, your thoughts around the particular question. So that's how we'll do it, because that's when we'll make the most of the session. Don't, I would say, wait to the end of the session to ask your questions. Do send it in the Q&A section so that you don't forget it as well. And we'll address all of them towards the end. Okay, I can see a lot of members here now. And I can see that people have started introducing themselves. We have about 2 minutes left, but for all the newcomers here, to be honest, I'm really very excited to see all of you here. Thank you for investing 1 hour of your time to understand how you as a business owner can invest in digital resources and digital technologies and mediums for your own growth of your business. So while we wait for others to join in, I would encourage you all to use the chat box, introduce yourself, your business. Let's use this opportunity to network with one another. Recently there was a research conducted where there was about 40% of businesses were going to die out in the next 10 years if they don't really accommodate or learn how to adopt new technologies, new digital mediums. So this session is planned for all of you to at least be aware about what all you can do on the internet in regard to your digital business. Okay, so I can see now that we have a lot of members who've joined in. Let me actually go ahead and start sharing my screen. Okay. So just reiterating for everybody who's joined in slightly later on, the way we'll do this session is we'll keep it as interactive as possible. The best way for you to make the most of the session is for you to stay actively engaged, reply in the chat box with your comments, feedback, queries. In fact, I will be asking a lot of questions, so do send in your answers. Given that it's 1:05, let's get started now. Okay, so what can you really expect in today's session is basically we're going to cover a broad overview of GlobalLinker. In fact, we'll do a live demo of the platform. Then we'll move on to why is it important to have an online profile and how do you have one? How do you make it with rich content? as well as then we'll move on to how do you get started? Why should one sell online? How do you do it? Where, when, and how do you tell your customers that you're out there? And then, of course, how do you then start telling your customers that you're ready to service them? So how do you attract them? And then we'll do a detailed Q&A. I will leave ample amount of time for the Q&A session so that you can ask any of your queries in your mind. Okay, so let me ask you all before we get started, how many of you know about GlobalLinker? Do you know anything about how it will help you? Use the chat box, tell me what you understand about GlobalLinker, and then I can also share my inputs. So what does GlobalLinker mean to you? And I'll request you to please use the everyone tab to send in your answers. I can see a couple of responses on my personal chat box saying that it's a networking platform. Okay, what else? It's a B2B trading platform. Okay. It's an online store platform, right? Okay, so definitely it's a combination of all of this. I can see Mr. Salan says connecting businesses globally, bang on. I think what we're trying to do here, and let me explain it in a layman sense. Somebody says it's a FIO initiative. I'll come to that in a moment. So like the way we use Facebook to connect with friends, and we use LinkedIn, let's say, to connect for jobs or work updates, GlobalLinker is a world of business opportunities. It indeed is a reality today where over 4 lakh plus members are connecting with each other, like yourself, who are interacting about how do I source new raw material, where do I appoint agents, how do I engage new distributors. They're connecting with various people who are sharing updates about their products, their achievements, they're applying for awards, they're sharing their awards, and a lot more. So think of it as a community which is free to join, but an invite only program. So I'm happy to know that you've all been invited by some of the other large organization who is our partner. And Mr. Abhijit mentioned it's a FIO initiative. FIO, Federation of Federation of Indian Export Organizations, is a partner with us. Like there's ICICI Bank, there's MasterCard, there's the Telangana government, there is Union Bank of Philippines, and a lot more various organizations. So you all have been invited by one or the other partner organization. What I'd recommend is that you treat it as your online business circle. There is a lot of activity happening on the platform, like people are engaging new distributors, new agents, all of that, what we spoke about. But how do you get started with this activity and how do you become a part of the engagement is what I'll show you now. I'll take a moment and actually share my own profile with all of you. So that you get an idea of how it looks like. Okay, so I've logged into my own profile of GlobalLinker. Just like any other social platform, on the left-hand side, you can see there is my name, the organization I represent, my designation. So your particular, what you represent is there on top, then about your organization, and then what is the activity that you're doing on the platform. In the middle, the section is for people to engage with one another. So just like any other platform, you can actually share any of your ideas, opinions, challenges, queries, anything over here for where you're seeking inputs. In fact, you can also write an article, and I'll come to that in a bit. But if you see in the middle section here, there is an organization who's talking about their particular products that they're selling. Somebody's inviting others to go on to their website. There's somebody who's celebrating Republic Day and inviting members to be a part of a session. So there are various things happening. And for example, there's a member who's looking for a buyer in Dubai specifically and putting up their B2B particular websites. So here is where you can also go ahead and post your own requirements, your challenges, your inputs, your queries, all of that. Now, and on the right hand side is where it's an informational based section where you can see all the different awards that you can apply for, what is the events that are happening, what are the different articles that you can actually go through, and a lot of other content which you can just consume. Now, coming to this section on the top, there's the resources, which basically the first is the knowledge bit. Let me show you what articles looks like and why it's very important or critical. Now, a lot of members, in fact, many members today read all of this information that's being posted by various market leaders, various organizations, by GlobalLinker ourselves as well. So, for example, you can see Amy Radin, who is a SME or a business owner like yourself, who writes a lot in the leadership and the management space. There is Retailers Association of India, who shares a lot of trends, data, insights, and learnings from the retail industry. There is a legal partner, Vakil Search, who writes about what are the different things that you need to look into while you're doing any of your compliances, or how do you really apply for an FSSAI certificate, all of that. I have some of my colleagues here who write meaningful and rich content around what are the kind of things you can do to grow your business in the digital space. And of course, a lot more content is being generated. Here, there is one of our partner, FIO, Federation of Indian Export Organizations, who actually puts in weekly trade alerts for exporters. So you can follow this section to really consume content on the platform. But more importantly, what I'd like to emphasize on is the fact that you as a business owner should start contributing here. And the reason I say that is because when I see a post on the platform saying, or when I see a discussion that is initiated to say that I deal in XYZ, here are my products, this is my website, come deal with me. It's not as, I would say, interactive, or it would not be as, there wouldn't be as much results as against if you as a business owner start writing information like this, where yes, I do deal in XYZ, this is my catalog, you can trade with me, but a lot of other information on why you are a subject matter expertise in that particular domain, or why should somebody engage with you, why should somebody appoint you, why should somebody do business with you as an organization. And so you need to actually share knowledge on the platform, so that when I read an article, let's say I'm reading an article from Anirudh Gupta here, who says how to set goals at work. I'll read that article, I'll understand, okay, he has a very CA-centric approach towards this. I can reach out to him if I have queries around my accounting related aspects. And so I establish that brand of that person in my mind, that next time let me go ahead and speak to this person so that I can fulfill my business opportunity as well. So I would invite you all to actually contribute using this section. Now, coming fairly quickly to the groups. We're all pretty used to using groups. We do it on various other platforms. It is a group of like-minded people coming together to discuss a particular subject or a particular aspect around one specific industry or product, or let's say category. So here you can see that if I'm interested in fashion, I'd join that group, or if I'm interested in knowing about accounting services, I would join that particular group. So whatever you are interested in, please do join it, and not only join it, but actually pose any of your questions that you have, interact with others to see what they are posting so that you can actually fulfill that requirement. So a lot of activity happens already, and you can become a part of it by joining one of these groups. Now, given that this is self-explanatory, I'll move on to the event section. Now, events, you would have actually joined, you would have actually registered for today's event using one of these sections, but you should keep a tab on this section if you'd like to know about the various events, online, offline, free, paid, all of it, that are happening in the industry today for business owners, for small and medium owners, business enterprises. So, and why I say that is because you as an organization also can post any of your particular events that are happening within your organization, invite this online community, 400,000 members, to see your event, whether online or physical. So this is where you can register for it, and not only register but also create it. We have events posted by a lot of leading organizations, by ourselves, by members. So this is where you can also use it. I'll come to the catalog section in a bit, but let me actually just show you the offers section. Now here is a service that we've curated different market leaders. So we've understood that a business owner during their business journey goes through various phases of requirements. Let's say I'm looking for an office space. We've spoken to, let's say, Amazon and Office, or I'm looking for working capital. So we've spoken to HSBC, to ICICI, and we've curated their services for you. But not only that, at a pre-negotiated rate, so that when you go as an individual outside of the platform, you don't have to look at various aspects. You can just come on to GlobalLinker and fulfill all your current business requirements, because all those services have been mentioned here. And of course, because we're so many of us together, we're able to get a better rate than getting it outside of the platform. Now, let me come to the online store section, which is the catalog section that I spoke about. Now, an online store, usually people think of it as a B2C store, which means if I sell garments, then I should have an online store, I should have a digital business. That's not the case. An online catalog or an online store can be 100% for a industrial business, for a consumer business, for a D2C, B2B, B2C, or no matter what category of business you are, you can definitely have your own digital catalog. And I'll show you a couple of examples as well. Let me first show you a straightforward B2C brand. So this is a brand in the south of India, in Hyderabad, where they've created their online catalog, and they're inviting their customers to start using it. Now you can see there are various sections, there are various categories. They've put in all the different social media aspects as well. So you can make it as aesthetic as this, as interactive as this. You can have all the things that are happening behind the scenes. So here they put in empowerment stories. You can actually add your videos as well. So there are various tools and capabilities to create this from the scratch. And in fact, you can do it absolutely free of cost for a basic store that you're creating. Now, let me show you an industrial brand. And this is Sevisa, who deals in beveling machines. They came back and said that not all of my products I can put a price to it. I can't attach a price to it because it's dependent on what the customer is looking for. So in order to do that, what they do is basically they list their products, and certain products are based on inquiry. So the price is not disclosed, and the buyer is asked to actually send in an inquiry for discussion. So you could use that to also create your B2B kind of requirements. Now, there are a lot more stores examples that we can kind of show you. And in fact, I'll ask my colleague to put in some of the other store examples so that you can go through it, take inspiration, and build your own digital catalog as well. And we'll just come back to our presentation today about why and how you should go online. So give me a moment again. Yeah. So now, just to give you a sense, now that you've understood the platform, the idea of this solution is to make business owners twofold, to help them in two ways. One is to make your business discoverable, and second is to make you transaction ready. Okay. Now, let's quickly move on to why on how you should get started with your journey online. So as business owners, resources are limited and we really need to use them wisely. So I'd like to ask you all, what is the most limited resource for you? Use a chat box and tell me what is your most limited resource. I'm going to wait here to see your responses. Finance, okay, Mr. Abhijit. Sorry, what's the question? You as a business owner have very limited resources and not everything can be done at the same time. So what is your most limited resource as a business owner? And I can see a lot of people say time and money. I can see a couple of you who say bandwidth, capacity, funds, good manpower. Okay, absolutely. Now that we know that, and I think time is the clear winner in terms of limited bandwidth. So now that we know that we have resources that are limited, let's actually use them wisely. And so we plan before we act. Now, in the session ahead, I'll actually show you how you can use various channels in which you can tell your customer that you're out there, you're ready to service them no matter where they are, when they want you, what they want, you can fulfill it. So again, before we move forward, let me ask you all to draw a tree, and draw a tree fairly quickly in under 5 seconds. You can do it in your mind, you can do it on paper, but just draw a tree. I'm pausing there. Draw a tree in your mind or on paper. And now my question to all of you is, how many of us, you can respond with yes or no, did you draw a tree just like the way we were taught as kids, 2 lines for barks and then a cloud on top for the bush? Did we draw a tree like that? Abhijit says no, Mohammed says yes, and a lot of yeses there after that. Nitin says yes. Okay. So even in from the grassroots level, yes, absolutely. I was taught like this as a child. Sure. So what I'm trying to bring here is that if we were all in a group and we were, let's say, in a competition where we were made into smaller groups and you were given the task of drawing a tree, I can guarantee we would not have done the same way. We would have added some colors, some roots, some birds, some various different things to make it out of the box or creative, because we were thinking of the simple task to do it. How do we do it differently? Now, and that exactly is what networking generates. It helps you think of your own routine or small routine task in a different way. It ignites the spark within you. It helps you think about, and just putting some context in the business aspect. Let's say you do every single day, you dedicate 1 hour to do all your routine tasks. Stop there, form a group, whether internal or let's say externally, but just see how you can do it differently, and you will be surprised to see or notice the kind of innovation that happens even in mundane tasks. And that is why it's very critical to actually have people engagement and therefore networking. Now you can do that with internally within your teams or even externally on online communities like GlobalLinker. Now let me actually go ahead and tell you about why and how you can build your own sales channel. So again, sending a question there. Times are honestly changing today and we should as well. But have you actually ever blocked an advertisement? Have you clicked on skip ad? Do we have any yeses there? Or you could say no as well. Have you ever clicked on skip ad, blocked an advertisement? Abhijit is like always yes. Okay, others, yes, often, very often, many times. Absolutely. Now, let me turn the question around. Have you actually followed an influencer or a celebrity who is talking about the various products that they use, who are talking about how do you use a product. Have we done any of that? Mr. Sanil says never. No. Mithilesh also says no. No. Okay, so I can see a lot of no's there, but and I can see yeses as well. Now, what's happening as per data and trend is that consumers today are trusting humans versus promotional content. So we are not looking at advertisements, but we are shifting towards looking at the use of the product or the benefits that can come. Now, and that is exactly why you should have your own sales channel. You should build your own brand. Now, diversification on marketplaces, yes, absolutely. Many of us today might have listed our products and services on marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, Big Basket, or using Zomato, Uber, whatever the case may be. And as a consumer, and as a seller, you must be getting a lot of consumers, but it is limited to that. Now, just think again, when you're purchasing, let's say, a pen or a garment on any of these marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, etc., do you ever read the name of the seller? Let me ask you all. I don't. Do you read the name of the seller when you're making a purchase? And I can see all of you are saying no, no, no. We don't read the name of the seller. We trust that we are buying it from a reliable marketplace. And therefore, as a business owner, we are not really able to make our own brand seen, felt. That presence is not really being generated. Because next time I want to purchase it, I will go back to Amazon. I will not think that, okay, Mr. Raghavendra's brand is XYZ. Let me go ahead and purchase it. Maybe he has his own website. It's not going to be that. So while it is important for us to get customers via marketplaces, but that can't be the only solution. You have to have your own digital catalog or website so that you're able to bring a difference in the mind of the consumer. Okay. So now that we've understood this, let me tell you, at GlobalLinker, we have over 30,000 plus active sellers who are using their store capability. Now, I have been in conversation with them for over 4.5 years now, and a lot of them have shared insights, data, trends, which I'm trying to collate and share with all of you here so that we can learn and grow together. But again, before we move forward, let me ask you all, how many of us shop online? Do you buy anything at all online today? Do you use Uber or Ola, Zomato, Swiggy, Amazon, Flipkart, Big Basket, Swiggy, whatever the case may be? Do you buy anything at all online? Everything online. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Now let me turn the question around. Are you selling online? You as a business owner, are you selling online? Can I as a customer purchase your products online? And I can see mixed there, a lot of no's, couple of yeses. I'm just going to leave you with the thought that when you as a customer buy practically everything online, just think about why you are not yet selling online. It is critical. Every single customer now wants that convenience to actually purchase online. So whether you're B2C, B2B, remote place, wherever, whatever you deal in, and I actually invite all of you who are saying that you've not yet started online, not yet started selling online, to give a couple of reasons about why you're not doing that. And we'll take that towards the end in the Q&A session. Maybe I can unmute a couple of you and ask you to tell your possible challenges or the reason for not yet selling online. Okay. Now, moving fairly quickly, we'll go on to the 5 stages of digitization, or the digital roadmap, as we call it. Now, the first is you lay the foundation. And how do you do that? By creating an online presence, right? And then you grow that by building it by staying active. What do you mean by staying active? You start posting various things about your business, you start contributing articles, you start sharing, let's say, news content, you start getting featured in various media channels, you start promoting your products, your services, your business, let's say via social media, via digital marketing, SEO, SEM, all of it. And how do you then grow it? You scale up by relying on data, on trends. You start then increasing your profits, reducing your costs, and at the end of all of this, you try to sustain it. How do you sustain it? You try to aim at getting more repeat customers, you earn goodwill, you try to build loyalty, all of that. Now, this cycle is a vicious cycle for every single customer that comes to you digitally, right? Now, you might argue that I have been doing business traditionally for years now, and my customers come to my physical store and purchase my goods. Why should I move online? If not 100%, even why should I move to a hybrid model of 50% online and 50% physical? And let's take an example for this. I can see, let's say Mr. Abhijit in our audience today has a store of footwear in Mumbai or Andheri, and he has about 100 customers coming every single day. He's very happy, he's making profits, but he now wants to expand. From 100 customers a day, he wants to move to 500 customers a day. How should he do that? What are your suggestions for Mr. Abhijit? What should he do to jump from 100 customers a day to 500 customers a day to his physical store in Andheri, Mumbai? Let's see what you all suggest. Distribute pamphlets, okay. Go online, okay. What else? Run a discount, sure. Open another branch, okay. What else? What else should you do to move from 100 customers a day to 500 customers a day? Okay, I can see a lot of go digital, run offers, go online. So let's take Mr. Raghavender's example of running or connect to social media. Okay, Mr. Raghavender's example of running offers, and Mr. Abhijit agrees to his idea and he runs a 50% off or a sale for his customers. And now from 100 customers a day, he's reached 200 customers a day. He's very happy. But let's stop there and think what happened. His profits went down. He ran an offer and got more customers, but he balanced it because he doubled his customers but reduced his profits by half. So instead of that, for let's say he now goes by the suggestion of all the ones who are saying go online, go digital, and he actually then, what happens if he goes online? He's able to now track his customers' data. And how is he able to do that? He's able to identify, let's say on Wednesday, between 1 to 2, for some or the other reason, nobody buys on my online store. On Wednesday, 1 to 2, let's say people are attending this webinar, or people are busy eating lunch, or they're in busy working hours, whatever the reason may be, nobody is buying on my online store between 1 to 2. And then Mr. Abhijit runs a 50% off only during that time. What happens now? Or let's say he runs a free giveaway sample of his products during this time. His existing customers remain intact during the other times. He is able to attract a new set of audience to him. He's able to attract them to start transacting with them and become repeat customers. So it's very difficult to track all of this offline versus online. That's the first thing. And then let's say Mr. Kiran, his friend, comes to his store and says that I started this journey about 5 years back. I went online, I created my digital presence. And now that you have created your digital presence and you've created your online store, you're getting customers not just from Andheri, not just limited to Mumbai, from Pune, from Hyderabad, Lucknow, everywhere across the country. But let me tell you, because I started my journey 5 years back, I now get orders from Australia, from Africa. I've expanded my digital presence. I've reduced my costs in terms of inventory holding. So what I'm trying to leave you with the thought is that the sky is the limit in the digital journey. It's important you start small and you start right away rather than thinking about when to start and how to go about it. Let me actually now quickly take you through the digitization index. And what does this mean? We understand that as business owners, you go through various stages. And let me show you how that looks like. Okay, so let's take marketing as an example. Let's say you don't have a logo. What is the next best step? You create a temporary logo, you create an ad hoc logo, and then you move on to creating a professional logo. Don't try to jump from one goalpost to the other. If today you don't have a logo, don't work only on creating a fully professional logo. It's okay not to be perfect because there are various aspects to do it, and everything together will really become the ocean. So it's just one drop in the ocean. And therefore, let's say you don't have an online profile, but I know that all of you do because you all have joined via GlobalLinker. Now, are you keeping it complete? If I go to your profile, let's say I open Mr. Vishal Gangade's profile, and is his profile telling me what he deals in? Can I see that, okay, these are his products, these are his services? Can I see his digital website? I'm interested. Let's say I understood that, okay, these are his products. Can I actually buy from him? Or can I actually see if he is posting any articles? Is he active on the platform? Or let's say all of that, does he have a website, an informational based website? Or does he have an online store where I can actually order and get it to my doorstep? Or he gave an example of connecting to social media. Now, let's say he has no presence today. He goes and he creates his Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of that presence. But how often is he posting? Is he posting once a week, once a day? Is he actually running ads, or is he then going to actually create his own online social media store? Do you have a Google listing or not? Can somebody on Google search for your business? So there are various angles, and let me actually come to another function. Now, let's say you are a B2B business. Are you tracking your transactions online, or are you still doing the same traditional way where you as a manufacturer are sending your salesperson to your distributor, asking him to show the catalog? He shows the catalog, he then books the order, he comes back. Instead of writing 30, he writes 80, then there are 50 returns, there are a lot of manual errors. So are you still following the traditional way of managing your supply chain? There are a lot of tools out there. In fact, we at GlobalLinker have a tool to digitize the entire supply chain, right from the manufacturer to the distributor, the retailer to the customer. And if you're interested in that, you can drop me a message and I'll be happy to arrange a call from an expert to do a demo around it. You can actually set, let's say, minimum order quantities, let's say a credit limit. Every single distributor will have a different credit, different minimum order quantity, different discount, and it's unique to them. No other distributor will be able to see what distributor A is doing. So this exists today, and like operations, there's sales. I'm going to leave you with the thought that no matter what stage you are in, it is the time now to start building your level 1 in order to reach your castle tomorrow. So we'll stop here and take on a Q&A session now. Thank you for attending this session. My contact details are mentioned in the on your screen, but I'm also putting it in the chat box. if you would like to get contacted for any reason, one is help me create my online store. I don't know how to go about it. I don't have the time. We'll create it for you at a nominal cost. If you want to be contacted for that, you can drop me a message or an email. If you want to be contacted for how do I digitize my entire supply chain, we'll be happy to help you in that as well. So let me just stop sharing my screen and see if you have any questions here. So first of all, thank you everybody for whoever was a part of the example. Thank you for that. And I see Mr. Abhijit asking, are foreign buyers present? Yes, they are. Let me go ahead and first answer that by sharing my screen. There are various ways in which you can reach verified foreign buyers. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible now. I'm coming on to the Indian Business Portal, which is a collaboration between Federation of Indian Export Organizations and GlobalLinker. It is a platform to connect Indian sellers with foreign buyers. So if you're a business who wants to list on it, again, please drop me a message and we'll be happy to help you on how you can go about it. But here is where you can see that various foreign buyers across the world, various embassies are also promoting the website. There are over 3,000 plus sellers from our country today. For example, here you can see there's somebody from Croatia looking for steel pipes, hollow sections, and likewise a lot of other queries have been posted. All you need to do is submit your interest or your representation about why somebody should appoint you versus somebody else. You can do that, but in order for you to get more and more queries, it's important that you become a part of the portal. So we have various dedicated training sessions on how you can join the portal. I'd invite you all to be a part of that as well. So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Abhijit. Ma'am, are you a part of GlobalLinker? Yes, 100%. I work at GlobalLinker. Are buyers verified? To an extent, which means that their phone numbers are verified, but in terms of credibility, you would have to check while making your deal with them. So I would want you to be on alert as well. There is no way in which we can do 100% verification. So I hope Mr. Abhijit and Mr. Mayur, your question is answered. What else? Hi, Malavika. We're into food and agri business since the last 37 years. If you allow, I would like to send my queries on your mentioned email. Please do. I'll be happy to hear from you. Can I get the PPT? Can I get this video? The session recording will be sent to your registered GlobalLinker account, to your GlobalLinker email ID. So yes, the session recording will be sent. Can I get the PPT? We will have it sent as well. Our genuine buyers here, Mr. Raghavendra, we Federation of Indian Export Organizations is a nodal body who is working with various embassies across the world. So yes, there are definitely genuine buyers. You may find one or two who possibly are not genuine, but that is the reason you need to keep a check on it. Mr. Mohammed, how do we find handicraft buyers on GlobalLinkers? Our products can go international. Yes, your products can go international. How do we find handicraft buyers? You need to stay active on the platform, start building connections, start interacting with people across the globe about your products. Now, in these 400,000 members, we have members from 150 plus countries. So it's not limited only to India. So please do go ahead and explore that as well. It's not just being on the platform. It is about engaging with others as well. Mr. Martin, I don't follow your question. Please do elaborate it. It says business portal. If you're referring to the Indian business portal, I've shown it already. Mr. Kiran, is it similar to GEM or a platform to connect with buyers and sellers? GEM is limited to government orders, and GlobalLinker is a combination of various platforms that exist today. It's a networking platform. It's a B2B networking platform as well. It is where you can create your online digital catalog as well. So it's not very similar to Gem. I'm looking for verified and serious buyers for our products. I'm sure all of us are. The way to go about it is have your digital catalog ready and then circulate it with all the members present. What is the best way to promote new technology? I don't follow your question, Stalin. I would request you to please elaborate. Which technology are you referring to? How do we get foreign buyers? Mr. Ramphal, it is important you, again, first step would be to create your digital catalog. Second would be to network with people who are across the world, which means outside of India. And third, of course, is also being present on the Indian business portal, so that all the effort that is being taken to promote this across the world, you start getting inquiries from there. Can you help us in suggesting content writer for profile creation? Absolutely. Please do send me an email and I'll be happy to help you with that. We have this service in-house as well. Okay, so now that the Q&A section is answered, I can see catalog will be prepared by you or us. So, Mr. Raghavendra, there are two ways to go about it. You can create your catalog on your own, free of cost, using the GlobalLinker platform. Alternatively, if you don't have time or if you're not able to learn how to do it, we can create it for you at a nominal cost. If you're wanting to use the second option, please do send me a mail or a message and I'll be happy to connect you to the relevant team. Mr. Ajit Kumar, what differentiates GlobalLinker from other B2B portals? From other B2B portals, you'll have to kind of mention. I can take examples and tell you, but one thing I can tell you is GlobalLinker is a combination of various different things. And the one differentiating factor is that we are in the business of helping business users grow their business in their business journey. So that's what it is. Mr. Mehboob, what are the charges of GlobalLinker? So absolutely free to join. There are no charges at all of becoming a member of GlobalLinker. If you'd like to create your store, a basic store is absolutely free. If you want advanced features, they come at a subscription cost. If you want us to create it for you, there is a nominal cost for us to create it for you. But otherwise, it's absolutely a free platform to join. Okay, can I contact on email? 100%, please do. I'll be happy to hear from any of you. Thank you for being such an engaged audience today. I hope all the questions have been answered. If there are still, we can answer them. Session was helpful. Thank you. It was really a pleasure to interact with all of you. Thank you for investing your time in learning how you can grow your business digitally. I have mentioned my contact details. There's one last thing. We have a special giveaway, which means that I'd like to help you further. And how that happens is, what you need to do is post about today's session on any of your social platforms about how you benefited, how you liked the session, or whatever you gained out of the session today. Share that link with me. It can be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, wherever it is. Share that link with me on message or on email, and we'll be happy to shortlist you for a one-on-one detailed session with an in-house expert who will talk to you about where you stand in your digital journey. So let's say your profile is not complete, we'll show you how to do that. If you're struggling using your online store, we'll show you how to do that. So let me see again, because you all were an engaged audience, let me see the yeses and nos. How many of us are participating in the giveaway? Do we have any yeses or nos there? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. Thank you for that. I saw a lot of other messages coming in. It was a pleasure connecting with you virtually. Absolutely, the feelings are mutual. Thank you for joining in and for being such an engaged audience today.